for the recording to set up. So hi, my name's Ashley Bloxham and I am an addictions counsellor. I've studied addiction, I've overcame addiction, and I know people and loved ones who've also struggled with addiction. So I've got a full 360 view of bloody addiction, and I'm also a trauma and childhood therapist. So I'm here to just create a little space where I pop on every day, and if anybody wants to, yes, it is coffee. This is my addiction of the moment, that my vice that I will not let go of. And basically just trying to create a little space to chat about addiction, or if anyone needs support with mental health, because I know that that's part and parcel of it. Hello, mystery dude from another omniverse. Nice to see you again. So thinking of a topic today, and I actually don't have one in mind. I probably should have thought about that to begin with. Try and rattle something off my brain. I've just done a video actually today, which is talking about the fact that a future version of yourself will be proud of the version of what you were doing today, or what you did in the past when you were overcoming addiction. And I was doing that video because I was looking back on my life and thinking, oh my God, thank God that version of me went through all that struggle and decided to get sober and turned my life around, even though it was so bloody hard. And I just have so much compassion for that version. So just did a little video talking about that, because I feel like, yeah, I was thinking that, but I wouldn't, that is a good point. You should wait about 3 minutes after going live, I think. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't know how long it is you've got to wait. So thanks for the heads up. I just didn't know whether just to sit there quietly. Still learning. Still learning how this thing works. But yeah, I'll take that on board. I did even wait this time as well, but I think clearly not long enough. But yeah, I was just reflecting on, oh, what do I do? Yeah, I like some questions today because I don't know what the hell to talk about, I'm not going to lie. What do you do in your free time to enjoy life? So I'm a mom, and one of the things with being a single mom is that I'm quite stuck in the house. And because I do a lot of my work online and, you know, therapy, it's all remote work, I just felt a bit stuck. So I had to learn to do things in the house that I enjoy. So I love dancing. So I always have little dance parties. I'm so spiritual. I love doing tarot cards, and I love journaling, and I'm also writing a book about addiction. So I was doing my PhD, and I had to stop because it was too much, and I'm actually starting to do that again. So I'm writing a book, and yeah, I'm going to try and apply to submit it to get a PhD. I'm just a little geek. I just love learning. I love watching podcasts. What about you? I had to learn a book. I can't tell if you're Yorkshire or Welsh. I'm a Geordie. None of them. None of those. I'm actually writing a book around addiction, and about how I believe that, and a lot of the research and evidence suggests that connection can heal addiction. Healthy connection with yourself and with others. So you sell stuff on eBay. Oh, I love that. Well, do you know what, I love it when people get inventive and think, I'm going to just do something where I can have time to myself. That is the dream. I've also created some therapy. I love writing and creating stuff. I'm very creative. So I've created some therapy cards, which are with my graphics designer at the moment. So I'm going to try and sell them. But yeah, the idea is to make money off doing things I enjoy and bare minimum, if possible. So yeah, I'd like to do something on here. I'd like eventually to get. I'm kind of capped at how many people can come on my lives, but I'd like to have some like big lives and just support people every day would be the dream, just supporting them with addiction. Because I think I really struggled when I was coming out of addiction on where to get support. You will get there sooner or later. You have to try and get out more. Yeah, the thing is, so I have a really nice weekend, but because it's just me and my son, I'm a bit stuck in the house. And that was one of the things I had to deal with when I got sober was, like, what do I do with myself now? Because I used to just have fun being on planet off my nut. So I had to start learning what I like, and it's spirituality, and I love learning. That might sound so boring to some people, but you've just got to find your little thing that you enjoy to do and do it, don't you? I love creating. What do you do for fun? And what does anybody else do for fun? And also, if anybody has any questions around mental health or addiction and recovery, they want some insight or support, please do ask. Hi, Tassie Jo, nice to see you again. I'll be honest, you don't even need help. I quit drugs without help. I managed to quit. Took me 99 times, but 100 I succeeded. Yeah, I love that. I think it is. I think it's just mindset. Do you think you had shifted your mindset before you got there? Because I always say I got sober before I got sober. I have 4 parrots. They are my fun. Oh, I had a parrot. I had an African grey called Bean. He's no longer with us. But my dogs as well. My dogs have really helped us through my addiction. No, my health was getting deadly, so I quit. That's the thing. So there's somebody who I know who has somebody who's struggling with addiction, and they kind of were going through a stage where they were trying to do damage control and just try and stop shit from hitting the fan. And I've had to say to them, like, you've got to let the shit hit the fan. I think with addiction, you need to get a point where your motivation to do it is going up, but also the reason, like, the effects of the addiction is going down, so it's going downhill. And I think the more shit hits the fan, the more likely you're gonna stop. But I've got to say, for me, and I've said this before, so I'll not go into huge detail, but my bladder was starting to fail and it didn't stop us. I don't think I was a picture of health. But I don't know if I just kidded myself like I'm young and stuff like that. Well, I want to live as long as possible. Yeah, I've got that mindset now. And I think that's the thing. It's like, I think when we're struggling with addiction, we're kind of very in the moment, and it can be really good to bring yourself outside of yourself and start to think, what do I want long term? So when I did my SMART training, which is an alternative to AA meetings or DA meetings, it's grounded in counselling theory. And what they said is that you need to, if you can start thinking like long-term goals, as measly as that sounds, it's good because it starts to engage the long-term part of your brain, which then counteracts this emotional side of the brain, it gets fired up when we're having cravings and an addiction. So yeah, that's really good to think I want to live as long as possible. Now, I had a bladder issue when I overdosed on pregabalin. Oh my God. Pregabalin as well, it's sort of... Was that something you had been prescribed, or was it something that you were taking? I know a lot of people who are addicted to pregabalin though. Alongside other things. But yeah, I didn't know you could get a bladder issue from that. Get some CBD drops, which helps with pain. Yeah, I think it's about finding alternative ways to support yourself and just thinking, okay, this isn't working, what else can I do? What about, oh, hi Raj, sorry, I just saw your comment there. I'm going to go through some of the comments because I've been missing them. Hello, and thanks for joining. We're just chatting about things that help you come out of addiction. So Mystery Dude has said that it was his health and thinking about wanting to live together. So engaging his long-term goals, is engaging his brain. That's why meditation is really good. It lights up the same parts of your brain, which is helpful for addiction. There's a lot of research around that. Tassie Joe, they keep me grounded. Yeah, I think animals really do. Oh, my animals are amazing. 215 days sober, baby. Yes, and these duts. I love that. Amazing. So you've just came out of the thick of it. How are you finding it? How are you finding that? Oh God, do you know what it is? It's so good when you see them days clocking up. Does anybody else use the I Am Sober app? Mine's on. I should have a little look at mine. 1,347 days sober. Whoop, whoop. 2 years and 11 months. You're finding it boring? Yeah, I was talking about this on the last live I did. It's just trying to work out what to do with your life once you're no longer on planet off my nut, as I always say. I saw a video the other day actually, and it hit the nail on the head. It was someone, and he was saying, I feel fucked when I'm knee deep in addiction, and then I'm fucked when I'm out of it. And it's like, either way I'm fucked. And he's like, you've got a problem with being sober and you've got a problem with not being sober. And he said for him, it was about, he had to start doing the inner work and exploring himself. What does he like? What brings him joy? Doing the healing. And he said it was an inside job, he described it as. And I thought, that's so true. That's what I had to do. I really resonated with it. But yeah, it can be boring. Oh, thank you. The thing for me, and I've got to say, what was something that I've been really lucky with is quite similar to what Tassie said about our parrots grounding her, is I've got a son and I've got my 2 dogs and they're grounders. So it's that external motivation, which I wouldn't suggest external motivation is good unless it is something like your kid. It's not very good to do it because somebody's telling you to do it, but if that's your driving force, it's good. But yeah, but I was so bored. I really get that. These duts, so bloody bored. I just started learning, what do I enjoy. I was talking about this at the beginning. Like, I like doing tarot cards and astrology and like little geeky girly stuff. Mystery dude. I messed my brain up. I lucid dream every night now. Have done since I've been sober. I do that, and that has been since I'm sober. I start to like visualize stuff, and I quite like it though. Do you know why it is? It's because for me, that was one of the things that I enjoyed, was the K-hole part of it. Do you enjoy the lucid dreaming, or is this like a bit of a hindrance, bit of a nuisance for you or not? James, 360 days. Brilliant. Or do you mean you've done a 360? Either way, rooting for you. Sounds good. Well, actually, no. Maybe I think you're doing 360 days. You don't want to do a 360 with addiction. That's back to where you started, to be a 180, wouldn't it? God's sake, Ashley Blocks. 360 days is mint. I think these days as well are just like, you're just racking up reasons to be bloody proud of yourself. You're really through the other side. I tell you what, knees duds, what really helped me is I started thinking about, so there's something in counselling, and it's called solution focused therapy. And there's this technique that we do called the miracle question. So you imagine that you've waved a magic wand, and the next day, because you've waved this magic wand, you wake up and a miracle's happened. You're living a life that isn't boring. I'm going to tell it at you. You're living your best life and it's not boring. And you take some time to think about, what would tomorrow look like if it was a day which wasn't boring, and you just write it down. So Mystery Dude was asking me, what do I do in my spare time? And I was saying, like, I'm writing a book, and I created me therapy cards, and just like I started thinking about what would be my dream job, like what would my fun day look like? Would I get up and go to the gym? Would I be going out with friends that I don't have? Would I, whatever. So do this miracle question. And when you've got it mapped out, this is what I would want my day to look like, then you can start to do something called scaling, which is also solution focused therapy. And what you do is you think of between 0 and 10, where am I at in regards to this dream, non-boring life? And you might grade yourself at like a 2 because you've already said it's pretty boring. So you're at a 2 and you think about what could I do to get us from a 2 to a 3? Like what one step can I do? And then you do that one step. And then once you're doing that, you then say, okay, now what can I do to get from a 2 to a 3? And you just build yourself up. So you're going on this trajectory of driving yourself towards this life that you don't feel bored with. Because I think we come out, my experience, and I assume some other people's experiences are, you come out and you think, what the bloody hell do I do with myself? I spent my entire life, the only way I have fun is like just being off me bonnet. Now what? Now what? Right, I quit drugs, smoking and alcohol, cold turkey. I started being more comfortable in my own skin, going to the gym more, working more. My memory is insanely better. That's brilliant. I love that. Yeah, I think that they are like the key components. Body, like going to the gym, getting dopamine from a healthy source. Yeah, just yeah, your memory being so much better. My memory's not being much better, I'm not gonna lie. I'm more focused. I feel more drained. I think it used to give us a lot more energy. But yeah, I love that for you. And going cold turkey, like off everything, hats off to you. Especially doing, what was it, 215 days cold turkey. The only thing I regret is wasting years and breaking teeth. Breaking whose teeth? Yours or others. Yeah, but do you know what it is, mystery dude? I know he's saying that you're wasting years, and I understand that regret, but I bet you wouldn't be the person you are today if it wasn't for that. Because I think any person I've met who's recovered from some kind of mental health or addiction are just the most luscious, empathetic people. They really are. I think you need glasses, mate. Probably. Mine and some. Just everyone's teeth. What did I read wrong? Oh, I probably could. I do wear glasses, actually. I'm just not wearing them today. Which, yeah, probably should get myself to Specsavers, shouldn't I, really? Can't be arsed, though. Can't be arsed with glasses. I'd lose them anyways. I'll lose everything. Oh, God. Yeah, breaking teeth is probably probably something to regret, I would say. We don't want to go around breaking teeth. But at least you're not breaking teeth now. That's the main thing. Nah, to be honest, I've already said this already before, but I would 100% do it all over again. But as in going back in time, not again, because I had the most fun I've had in years. Yeah, do you know what it is? I would do the same as well. I had so much fun until it wasn't fun. Then it was scary. I was just scared and confused for a very long time. I would definitely go back and do the same thing though, 100%. But yeah, I think we don't talk about the fun side of it. And I think that's going back to what me does was saying is like, you can find it boring after because it was fun, let's be real. But it's like, it's finding the fun in the mundane. And do you know what it is? I love that though. I love that I can have fun doing nothing. Like, I just feel so appreciative of just like being sober and just like everything just looks, it's almost like I woke up from this like crazy dream, and now all of a sudden like I can see everything in like 4K. Like I just walk around going like, wow, aren't those flowers beautiful? I'm such a hippie now, and like, oh my God, I love my friends so much. Like my son's so precious, and just love life. Really love it. Right, let's see what people are saying. Need duts. The wake up call for me when I was so drunk and high, so I was sleeping in my car at 1 a.m. A woman saw me in the car and brought me into my apartment. When she walked me into my apartment, yeah, that is pretty drunk and high. when neighbours are having to take pity on you. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the turning point for me. So I got pregnant, and I was that scared that I thought getting pregnant was the answer. And that is, I would say, I don't have many regrets in my life, but that is a regret, because it was so self-centered to bring a child into the world so that I could get sober. So me and my son's dad really wanted a kid, and we were like, I was like, oh, when I get sober, I'll have a kid. And then I was like, oh, well, actually, if I have a kid, then I'll get sober, because I just felt like I couldn't. And then I've ended up a single parent, and it's so self-centered looking back of what I did, because my kid is now is in a broken home with a single mom. But, you know, I wasn't thinking about that at the time, and I tried my best to give him the best upbringing. But yeah, that was the turning point for me. And then I kept relapsing, and then I was like, I need to be single to do this. So that's when I became a single parent. And again, my son's had a rough start because of me and my addiction, but it's one of them things that I can't beat myself up about it. I used to, but I really don't anymore. Chewing on McDonald's straws. Is that how you were breaking your teeth and other people's teeth? Chewing on straws. What's IYKYK mean? Like, I'm not down with the kids. I'm not down with the lingo, social media lingo. Acid tabs was wild. People's faces were where their mouth was, and I couldn't stop laughing for like 12 hours straight. Yeah, I've had some crazy times. I remember taking acid and I was throwing up into the toilet, and there was spiders coming out of my sick, and it was one of the few times where I was like, I need my mum. And the person I was like, I'm gonna call my mum, and the person I was with was like, don't call your mum. Absolutely not. Thank God I didn't ring my mum. She would have not been a good phone a friend. Why don't you get on dating websites? I've been single. Oh wait, who is this to? Why don't you get on dating websites? I've been single for 9 years. Got on a site this year and found someone special. I love that. So if you're talking to me, I've met someone the old-fashioned way. I met someone in Taco Bell, but I was on the dating sites. That was something I used to do for fun, actually. It was like a bit of a man-eater, to be honest. But do you know what it is? It's because I spent so long learning to love myself that I thought I'm not settling. So I was just like, no, not treating us right. Whereas I used to just accept being treated like crap from anyone and everyone in my life. Now I'm quite boundaried. But yeah, I met someone in Taco Bell, the old-fashioned way, and he's really lovely. So I'm not going on the dating apps. But I don't know if you were talking to someone else. I have bad trips of drugs, especially mushrooms. Yeah. It's really weird. So I'm really interested in mushrooms because I'm an absolute geek, and I love learning about addiction. And basically, there's a body of research now which talks about how they're using mushrooms to treat addiction, and it's got a much higher success rate, because what it does is it changes the neural pathway, like your neuroplasticity in your brain. So the changes you make I think it's up to a week after, can like rewire your brain. So obviously it needs to be done in a therapeutic setting. But yeah, I kind of very interested in psychedelics. Let's see. Damage done to kids cannot be removable, but don't live in the past as they can destroy both. Craig Kelly, yes. I love that, what you've said. And I was really struggling in the relationship that I, like, well, it's like, we're in early stages, it's not really a relationship, but in the situation I'm in now with the lad I'm dating, I've been struggling because of past traumas resurfacing, and one of the things I had to say to myself was like, I refuse to let my past ruin my future, because it's already took away from my past. I've already experienced the pain, so there's no way I'm giving away the power for that pain to now be ruining my present or my future. So yeah, I really love that what you said, Craig. Like, I am picking up what you're putting down. You're speaking my language. IYKYK means if you know, you know. That I woke up this morning with that sentence repeating in my head. So I'm really spiritual, me. And sometimes you probably just might think it's a load of rubbish unless you're spiritual as well. Maybe you don't. But I have, just before I go to bed, I'll hear little things and they always mean something. Or when I wake up, I hear a song playing in my head or a saying, and that was playing in my head. So it's weird that you've said that. I wonder what it means. What do I need to know? I would love you to be in the trials for microdosing in regards to helping with mental health. I've considered being in trials for microdosing for regards to helping with mental health. So yeah, I am with you. The problem is in the UK so Gabor Mate and Basil van der Kolk are really pushing to get this approved so that we can have psychedelic assisted therapy, and they're just refusing it, and it drives me insane because there's so much research and evidence that states that it is beneficial, and like tons more beneficial than all these psychiatric drugs and the traditional modes. And it's not a standalone thing, and obviously there are issues with it. People can get addicted to that high. However, the UK and the US government are refusing it because the war on drugs, it makes so much money. And then you've also got the pharmaceutical industry are making money. And it really infuriates us. It really does. And honestly, drug policy in the UK, my master's is situated around drug policy. And it infuriates us because there's someone called David Nutt, if you've heard of him. And he basically said they employed him to basically head drug policy. And he's an absolute expert in the field. And what he said was that basically there's a category of how drugs and alcohol, like substances, and how they affect you, and heroin and crack cocaine were at the top. And what he wanted to do was move alcohol and smoking higher up, and he wanted to move psychotics, not psychotics. Oh God, we've just been speaking about them. Why is it? Basically, acid, mushrooms. He wanted to, and MDMA, ecstasy. He wanted to move them right down because there's a lot of research that actually they're not addictive and they can massively aid therapy, but they basically sacked him because they didn't want to listen, because that means that they have to take accountability for the things that they're making huge tax on. And they also, it bugs the life out of us. That's a load of rubbish. Anyways, that was a massive rant. Sorry about that, guys. Right. Forget the past. I was abused as a child, and forgetting but not forgiving is the best way moving forward. Good luck. If I can, you can. Yeah. I really struggled with this idea of forgiving someone, and that's like a core component of the AA program. DA program. I have got to a place of forgiving my abusers. It's been a long journey and sometimes I struggle. But yeah, it is. It's just about trying to move on with your life, isn't it? Mystery dude. And it's about, I think what I used to struggle with is I felt really angry that I was being expected to forgive. And I felt like I'm not ready to forgive. I don't want to forgive that. But I think it's because for me, it was repeated. So I was constantly expected to forgive, and I kind of got to a place where I don't want to forgive that. It doesn't feel safe. But I actually weirdly got to a place where I have forgiven it. Um, yeah, it's took, God, nearly a decade of trying to. Craig Kelly, or if you see something as being good, I use SIG. Spectrum is, can you explain that to us? Spectrum for you, bad for your mind, bad for your heart. Trust me, I quit because my mind was destroyed and my heart was acting strange. Yeah, do you know what it is? Anything is bad for you if you're doing it all long term. It really is. Like, you know, and we're putting substances into our body, but you know, there's source food. There's a lot of food which is really bad for you. There's a lot of things, and I think we don't think so much about what it's doing. But I know, Mystery Dude, you said you started paying attention to your body. I can never forgive, and he is dead. And do you know what it is? Fair play. That's the first. I felt like that. Like, why am I being told to forgive? And I think sometimes we have these expectations of what we have to do, and actually, what we have to do, well, what we would ideally do is try and just live a happy, content life. And if that means forgiving, great. If it means not forgiving, then not forgiving. Don't forgive, I think. Do follow the joy. Do what's ever best for you. I absolutely think that. And I think sometimes we're told too much about what we need to do. I think let it go is a better way to put it. Yes, Tazzy, let it go. Yeah, let it go and don't let that person have power over your life. And which again is harder said than done, but that can be the aim, and let it go is a good way to do it, and just finding ways to let it go. I quit bread and pasta, no benefit to the body, all sugar. Yeah, I've done the same. Bread and pasta, that was a lie. I've quit sugar, but more like sugary snacks I don't eat, but I do have a lot of carbs. Yeah, isn't great, but also as a female, it's slightly different. So I actually got a dietitian to help us manage my mental health holistically, and they said that I wasn't, because I had cut carbs out. They said that I actually need them, especially for a female, because I'm not going to bore you with the details, but basically our hormones swap around, and there's a certain part of our cycle where we need carbs, and that's why we crave sugar. Buys a pack of cherry bakewells, eats all 6 in 5 minutes. Do you know what it is? As much as I don't eat sugar anymore, well, sometimes I do, like an odd treat here and there, but yeah, no judgment here. I think if you've managed to get off weed, you eat the sugar, eat the bakewells, I say. I drink coffee, not many drink. Some coffee is good for you, but I drink coffee and a vape. That's something that I do, and I know that I could stop, and I have stopped before. And I have set myself the goal, I'm going to stop on my anniversary, my 4-year anniversary of being sober, but I just stopped shaming myself for it. I thought I've quit a lot of things. I'll do it in my own time. I think we've just got to be kind to ourselves and just accept where we're at in our journey, and just love ourselves unconditionally forever where we're at and whatever vices we use. Old kids TV show from 1960s called Captain Scarlet used to say, SIG, spectrum is green for positive stuff. I need to look into that more, because I'm not what does I'm going to look that up. I'm going to take a screenshot if you don't mind, and then I can find out that more, because I love a new little mantra. When I quit drinking, I started craving sugar like crazy. Yeah, well, sugar's full of drink, isn't it? Sugar's full of drink. Drink's full of sugar. Yeah, and I think, so I did it even after my drug addiction, and I think it was because we're craving that dopamine. and it's trying to get that dopamine from elsewhere, isn't it? But with alcohol, it's a double whammy, isn't it? Because your body's so used to plowing itself full of sugar. Are you still, did you, I know you said you were craving, like, do you still have those cravings for sugar? Do you eat a lot of sugar? Where are you at with that? Because I class that as one of my addictions. I had to get off eating, is it refined sugar? Sugary snacks, sugary goodness. Vaping sets my heart off and causes skull pain. I can't quit. It feels impossible. So hopefully I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's one of those things where I used to shame myself thinking, oh, I'm addictions counselor. I need to quit. I need to quit. I did quit, and then I got sectioned and they took me off my ADHD meds. And I said, I need something. Like, I was like, I said, I'm craving a vape. I said, I've got nothing for my ADHD, and they actually said, well, why don't you we'll prescribe you a vape. I was like, I don't really want to start vaping again, and they said it'll be good for your ADHD. Like, in a vulnerable state while sectioned, there's prescribed as vapes, and I started vaping again. So I was so angry at that, and then I just thought, do you know what it is? As an addictions counsellor, yes, I probably shouldn't have a vape, but also as a human being, I'm just going to give myself permission. I wouldn't advocate for it, absolutely not. But... and anybody who's managed to stop, very proud of you. But yeah, that's my next one. That's my next thing to tackle. I'm tackled removing alcohol, which I wasn't having as an addiction, but I was socially drinking. And so I've removed that recently. And then my next tackle is vaping. But it's physically addictive, mystery dude, as well. I've been smoking since I was 12. So I did used to smoke cigarettes. Changed to vaping, which I don't think is any better, to be honest with you, but hey ho. Right, let's see. I am animal-based for 4 years now. What's animal-based for 4 years mean, Sergio? Animal-based. Sorry, I'm not... I sometimes don't understand what people are saying. It's my little new spicy brain. I eat sugar. If I eat sugar, I go crazy, consume about 200 grams of total sugar content. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like a fiend. It's one of them things, it's like a relapse. As soon as I eat sugary snacks, that's it. The only thing I do is the lad who I'm dating, he's been buying us a bar of white chocolate on a weekend, on a Saturday. And I've been managing to have that, and I haven't been... but I just don't buy it myself. I think that's why it is. He buys it as a little treat for us. That's been the last couple of weekends he's done that. But yeah, I just turn into a fiend. And I feel like rubbish of it as well. It's like that constant up and down. I tell you what, you don't need medication at all. I've been medication free for 6 years, barring my mind. I was on class A and Bud all those years ago. You really don't need meds. Yeah, I don't. And I do need to say, as somebody who is a healthcare professional, I don't want to advocate about not going on meds, because I've been sectioned, so I've seen people who really do need meds. But I have managed to come off all medication, and I feel so much better for it. And I've done it in a way of looking after my body and learning about my body and my diet and sleep and exercise. I do jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I fully agree with that. But I'm not advocating for that. I just need to say that. I took all surgery snacks out. Oh, surgery snacks. God. Sugary snacks out of my apartment. So the only I can get it is I have to go in my car and drive to the store. Yeah, I think that's it if you stop buying it. It's about putting little barriers. That's really good for addiction. It's just putting little barriers in between you and it. Because we have to be aware of, if it's in the house, you're going to do it. There's going to be a breaking point. Although I've been quite good. So the lad who I'm dating's left a bottle of Baileys, and I've looked at it and I haven't drank it at any point. So, doing well. But I guess it's not really alcohol's not my choice of thing. It's just something that I sometimes lean into more if I'm bored, or it's socially, it's not really, I couldn't have had me drug that I was addicted to or sugar in my house. Absolutely not. I would not be left there. Vaping is so knees nuts. Vaping was the hardest for me. Yeah, it was for me. So I had quit vaping because my neighbour, this is so sad, my neighbour passed away recently, and he was such a dear friend. We used to chat to each other, like he used to knock on us in the night time. We used to sit there chatting for an hour, or sit in the backyards together because I'm like by myself. And he'd got sober for 6 years, completely sober off the alcohol, and he used to do Class A before that. But the damage had already been done when by this point, and sadly he passed away. And one of the things that it made us think is you can decide to get sober too late. So I thought I need to quit vaping for my son. So I've tried a few times, so I quit. And then I did it just before I went on holiday. So I quit for 2 weeks, but it was so hard because I was like having physical withdrawals from it. Obviously, I've had nicotine in my system. It's physically addictive, psychologically addicted. And I don't think we talk too much about the addiction of that in the addiction field. It was really hard. I was really struggling. I felt like rubbish. Obviously, my dopamine was depleted. But then I had an all-inclusive holiday booked 2 weeks later, and I ended up going on that and just stupidly, oh, I'm on holiday, I can vape when I'm on holiday. And I know for a fact that that's an absolute load of crap. Like, I'm an addictions counsellor, how are you, Ash? But that's what that little voice does to you, doesn't it? And yeah, straight back into it. It's on the list, though. I will do it. It really took it out for us. Vaping it has been one of the hardest for me. Well, they've all been, quitting all my addictions have been hard in different ways. Sugar was hard because it's in everyday life. So I actually took any artificial sugar out of my diet completely. So like pastas and stuff first, then I introduced pastas and carbs. But yeah, the drug addiction was just brutal. But yeah, the physiological withdrawals that I had to psychiatric meds was I went cold turkey. It was my bones were in pain because I was going cold turkey off them. Right, mystery dude, don't eat white, consume dark chocolate's healthier. It actually is. There's a lot of studies. Which show the benefits of dark chocolate. But so, because I'm not really having a drink or anything, and I'm just like, I do like white chocolate. I do think as well it's important for me personally not to get rid of every vice. Like I think I did get to a point where I was like, I'm not even enjoying my life. Like everything was around like fitness and health, and I started doing like an 80-20 rule. So like 80% of the time living in alignment with longevity, and 20% of the time just being a messy human. So yeah, that works for me because I'm very all or nothing, and when I do all for too long, I sharp hit nothing and then have to drag myself back up. I told you need glasses. And do you know what is? I'm dyslexic, so cut us some slack, mystery dude. I do need glasses. My glasses aren't actually because I can't see though. My glasses are so I don't get headaches for me studying. I do need glasses. Just look, this is a safe space. We can all be knackers. I'm the main knacker here right now, not reading properly. Sergio, no carbs, just fat meat. No satil, sometimes raw seafood. Oh, yeah. So like a bit like is it like a ketogenic diet in line with? But yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I've kind of looked into stuff like that. It's really good. I suppose with diet, what I've come to learn is there's a lot of different ways to do things, but it's just about what works for you. So I'm a vegetarian, so that wouldn't work for me. Although I do love meat, I'm not going to lie, I love to nab a bit of meat off somebody else's plate. If someone's got a pepperoni pizza, I will be nicking a slice. But I just don't want to put money into the economy. So I don't eat meat, so that wouldn't work for me. But I do fasting, which has a similar physiological response on the body. Oh, thank you, whoever's just given us some likes. I really appreciate that. Mystery dude, Sergio, why no plants? But can be consumed in moderation. Yeah. It's a ketogenic diet, I think it is, isn't it? No, because you can have plants on ketogenic diet. I'm really interested to know more about this, Sergio. Let me know. Mystery dude, everyone liked the live stream so she can get into the algorithm. Oh, thank you. So I'm actually, I really appreciate that. That's lovely. I think I'm capped. So one thing that would be helpful is if people could subscribe to us, because I'm capped at how many people I can have on my live streams at the moment until I get 1,000 subscribers. So I will ask something. How do you have intact teeth? I bloody don't. I actually don't. These two here are caps. I don't know if you can see. You can see a little line there. So that's not from drug use though. That's because when I was on a night out with my friend, she had an alcohol pop and she was really short. So I've always had like really short friends. And she was dancing and she did like some kind of dance move and smacked our alcohol pop on my tooth. And I rocked a chipped tooth for a bit, but I looked very goofy and I was quite young, so I got them caps on them. But I don't know how I have intact teeth. I don't know if ketamine affects your teeth. I don't know. I've got a few fillings, so maybe they're not as intact as I originally thought. Struggling to sleep. Oh, what's AAS? Have you said something that I've missed? AAS. AAS. I hope I haven't missed something that you've said, AAS, because that sounds like you're carrying on from something. Right, I can't see it. AAS, you've said struggling to stop as well. Oh, I thought you said sleep. God, I really do need my eyes testing, don't I? Struggling to stop as well. So are you talking about vaping, or is there something else you're struggling to stop? Do people, I mean, the thing what I don't want to do is sit here and tell you how to stop vaping, because realistically, that is the kettle calling the pot black. Because I've not quit vaping. But if you'd like some tips and tricks, the same things that apply to addiction apply across the board. So I'm happy to give you some hypocritical healing hacks for you. Let us know. I will ask something. How do you... Oh, yeah, I've read that one. Mind over matter. Literally is. Hi, Eraser Blitz. Thanks for joining. Thanks for saying hi as well. I like it when people comment. Gives us something to talk about. Yeah, mind over matter. I think it's important that... And I must sound like a broken record to everyone who comes on, so I'm sorry, but... It is 100% like my ethos, but it's really important that the mind that we're putting over the matter is one which is a kind mind. Like I heard something like saying it was like having the shitty committee in your brain that's just constantly putting you down, and you need to have the positive vibe tribe in your head, not the shitty committee or the shitty committee, self-pity committee. God. You need to make sure that that mind is solid and kind to yourself. But yeah, mind over matter. Right. Hello. Guess what? I am Mystery Man. Dead. He is not. I don't even understand what that means. That's lost on me. That's lost on my neurospicy brain. You'll have to. So if it's a joke, I don't get... Honestly, the amount of times people tell us jokes and I don't really get them. Greetings from Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. I really want to go. But hello from north of England. Whoop, whoop. Us northerners. I imagine it's a lot bloody nicer in Brazil than it is here, though. Anyways, guys... I'm going to end it there. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Hello, Razor Blitz. I think you're saying hello to Alexander, aren't you? Anyways, it's been lovely speaking to you. Thank you. Oh, don't leave. I know my brain's starting to get a bit dead. We love you. Oh, love that. Thank you. Please give us a subscribe. That would be so helpful. I would love that. I'm on like 100 and something. I've got 100 subscribers, 120 or something. The meat, and I need more so I can get more people in. The meat need to be from the hunter, elk with 30% fat, and cows got wild caught, and no plant at all. And if you do eat charcoal with seaweed. Oh, that I need to drink the coffee, don't I? Okay, I'll stay on for 5. Go on, you've talked us into it. Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Sergio, where are you from? Because I struggle to get bloody organic vegetables over where I'm from, let alone meat from a hunter elk. But that sounds brilliant. It sounds very in line with our ancestors and like tribes, which like I always think like with psychology, with anything, take it back to our ancestors. That's like a big heavy focus of my studying, because like we literally are living these like comfortable lives and, you know, having meds for everything and having this fast food, and it's so bad for us. And then we're wondering why we've got mental health disorders when our guts are like the majority of the serotonin, which is a happy hormone, is in our brain. And instead we're taking serotonin uptaker tablets. Like, no, we need to pay attention to what we put in our bodies. For, you know, we're not educated and everything is comfortable. So it's good just to take it back to the ancestors. They had it so much right. And also, that's how our bodies have evolved to survive. Right. I'm already subbed. Oh, thank you. I love that. You need to drink that coffee. A bit pushy, but okay. It's worked. I need to work on my boundaries, really, don't I? No, I do enjoy it. Come on, you got to work if you want your YouTube to grow. Well, I am trying. I've been going on at least once a day, if not twice a day, except for a Saturday. I do enjoy it. You're a canny. You're a canny bunch. I'm starting to get a few people coming back as well who are lovely. Nathan May, hi. I used to be addicted to hokey pokey, but I turned myself around. I love that. We've all been addicted to hokey pokey and turned ourselves around on here. But I've been live for 52 minutes, that eraser. Morning, people. Hi, Dre Beck. Morning. Oh, I'm drinking me coffee. I need to drink me coffee. I'm ready for bed, mate. Do you know what it is, though? Because I've been having a nap. So basically, I keep saying how I'm spiritual. I did a little moon wish. And my moon wish was that I could help millions of people, make millions of pounds to help millions of people. That's a wish I've been making for like years, like manifestation. And then I did this moon wish that basically I wanted to be in the public domain doing like content creation. And a week later I got sectioned, and basically they told us I'm not able to work for a year. I still haven't seen a psychiatrist since I came out, so that year has just been dragged on. They said it's unethical to work with clients because if I have a bipolar episode, then I have to I'm just not ethical to work with other people with mental health. So it was always like the universe granted my wish, because then all of a sudden I went from doing my PhD, having a business, I was setting up addiction online groups, working for multiple like subcontracting work from multiple companies like BetterHelp, etc. Being a single man, running myself into the ground, to all of a sudden having a lot of time. And in that time, I've thought, right, I can actually do content creation. So my wish came true. Moral of the story, though, be careful what you wish for, because I got sectioned. So yeah, I'm trying my best to come on and build up a following, and just want to help people, because I feel like when I was doing counselling, I could support one person, and I'd ideally want to support multiple people. And I'm also writing a book, so hopefully that can help people. And I've got a few things up my sleeves that I've been creating. and they're all going to come out together. So, but yeah, I really appreciate you all coming on. Nah, you need glasses. It says 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Right, well, everyone stop picking on it, saying I need glasses. How you're going to give us a complex. I'm going to come back with these like jam jars. Don't even need them, but like I've had a complex. I've been told 34 times that I need glasses in the space of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Show me some what? And gelatin is the most important to a high protein diet. Didn't know that. I love that. Gelatin, though, where would you get gelatin from? Was this like in bones? I'm learning something here. Is there a name for the diet? Do you call the diet like, you know, how you get the Mediterranean diet, or is there a name for your diet that you're on, or is it just what you do? Your moon wish should be to go to Specsavers and get some glasses. Well, there's a full moon coming up. I wish for... No, I'm not even saying that out loud. I'm not manifesting needing glasses all the time. I'll just let you laugh at us. You can rest now. Time is the enemy of all ideas, Jay. Yeah, 100%. Although, do you know what I've realised so I've just been writing a book, and I didn't realise that it's acceptable to use AI to write your book. So I'm literally, I know me, I'm such a geek. I know everything inside out. So I've been like studying for 16 years coming up now. And basically, I just started like speaking out my idea, and I'm literally writing paragraph by paragraph, and my trusty old bestie ChatGPT has literally just been putting whatever I'm saying in, like correcting it and grammar. I've wrote 10% of my book already. So time it seems to be on my side when you've got accepting help from AI. I am. And do you know what it is? I've got a brilliant reason or something, because my brain's bloody marvellous at thinking of stuff. It's not very good at writing it. I can, because I've obviously studied to a high level, so I had to learn to be good at writing. But it just mentally drains us. So I was writing my book out myself, and then I thought, this is actually really hard. I'm too tired for this malark. So I started using AI, and apparently you can do that, because AI told us I can. Life is what you make it, and you can't escape it, 100%. Yeah. Do you know how much I used to spend? It cost me £600 to get my dissertation proofread. A lot cheaper. And it's my best friend in the whole wide world. So it's a double whammy. My proofreader wasn't. Right, I actually am really tired, and also I'm really hungry because I fast until 11 o'clock. So muscle meat can be toxic without gelatin. I did not know that. But I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go eat. Might have a little nap, because that's how I roll. Nice speaking to you all. Thank you for joining. I'll be on again tomorrow at the same time, 10:10. And yeah, just have a lush day, guys. See you later. Bye.